Hey guys, this is Mike with Sports Templates, and I am really excited today to show you how to turn this cap template into this amazing Arizona Diamondbacks design using the new Sports Templates Snapback 5K template. So before we get too deep into this design, I just want to show you all the different views you get with this template. So you get the 3/4 front view that we see now. You also get the 3/4 back view. You get the straight on back view, and then you get the front straight on view, all included with this template. So a really great value, 4 different views, all included with the template. Okay, so let's get into this design and take a look at how we navigate the template. So you're gonna see there are some grid lines here across your screen just to kind of help you see where things are in terms of layout and centering. We don't need those for this view, so if you go to if you go to View and Clear Guides, you can get rid of those. Now, I like to start with editing the background, so I want to make the colors align more with what I'm going to be designing. And so I've got a color library and some graphics for this design saved up here. We're going to upload those and put a link in the video description so that you can download those if you want to follow along with this design. So over here in the layers panel, I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to go to this BG folder for background and just expand that folder. And I'm going to change my background color. So if I select that layer and I just click on one of my colors here, I'm going to choose purple. It will change the color to purple. Okay. And so we see we've got a purple background there. Now we can see the text a lot better. And you can also edit the text too. And so everything about this is customizable. So if we click on this layer here, we can see that we've got a text background. Just use my move tool so we can see what I've selected. It says baseball cap. I'm just going to change it to Arizona and lock that in. And then this one that says Sports Templates Presents, let's just change that to Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, and this one down here, let's just say we'll put their division in here, National League West. Okay. So our background's done. I like that. And now let's get into how we edit the actual cap. Okay, so now let's take a look at editing the actual cap. So we're gonna look at the colors we can change, and I'm gonna start with the crown of the cap. We'll do the bill second. So looking at the crown, there's a lot of different panels, right? We see we've got a lot of different layers here. If we go to editable parts and just expand that folder, we can see we've got crown in a folder and we've got bill in a folder. So I'm going to start with crown, and there's a lot of different things we can edit. We can edit the crown color all on its own. Right now the crown design smart object is turned on, and so that's got this blue design over the top with the different sort of a grid on it right now. So if you wanted to do kind of a full design on the entire hat, you could do that. And you would do that by double clicking on the smart object, and it opens it up. And so you can see how that grid is kind of shaped to the hat, right? So smart object is going to display in a flat panel, and anything you place here and save is going to automatically warp around the entire surface of the hat. So if you have a design that you want to place, let's just take this Diamondbacks logo, we can drag it in here and we can make it as big as we want. When I drag it in, it's automatically got my transform tool on, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key and I'm going to click and drag, and that's going to expand from the center, and I'll just make it really big and place it there, and I'm going to hide my grid. So now I've got a transparent background. I'm going to hit Control or Command S to save. You could also do File Save if you want to. And if I go back to my main tab, I'm now going to see that graphic is placed on the actual cap, and it's curved around the hat. So pretty cool way. Now we're not going to do that for this design, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn off my crown design layer, and I just want to change my crown color. And so you remember earlier, if you're on one of these color layers, if you just click a color, it will change it. You can also change the color by just double clicking and choose a different color. But I like that color. Now you see we've got some stitches there, and I want to fix that. So I've got crown stitch color here. We want to make the stitches the same purple, but we want them to pop just a little bit more. So I'm going to double click on that purple, and I'm just going to make it maybe just a little bit brighter. And it'll just pop off a little bit more. You can kind of see down here. Let's zoom in and get a look at that. You can really see the detail of the stitches. Right, and that's that 5K resolution we were talking about. And to zoom in, I'm just hitting Control plus on my keyboard, Control or Command plus. And if you want to reset your zoom to the default, just hit Control or Command 0, and it'll back it out for you. So there's a couple other things we still need to edit here. We've got the eyelets. So let's go to eyelets color, and let's make those purple. And we'll actually make those a little bit darker. We'll just go to our purple color, and we'll just bring it down here just a little bit. And we'll just click off there so we can see, okay, so that's looking nice. And then the other thing is our top button on the hat, and that's also called the squatchy for those who are familiar with that. We're going to change that to purple as well. And because of the lighting on this, that's already coming in a little bit darker. We'll zoom in and take another look at that too. Okay, so that's looking really nice. Got the nice texture on there. So, okay, the top or the crown of the cap is done. All right, now we're gonna edit the bill. So let's just go ahead and minimize our crown folder. Let's go into our bill folder, and let's look at how we're gonna change that. So first we have our bill color. Again, we have bill design, so if you wanted to place a design across your bill, you can use that smart object. We're not gonna do that for this example, so we're gonna just turn off the bill design layer. And the bill color is currently set to black. We're gonna change it to this turquoise color here. And then we also need to change our stitch color. And same thing, we want the turquoise. I wanna make it match. And we'll maybe just set those to be just a little bit lighter, maybe here. Okay, and let's just get a look at that. So you can see the stitches there, and that lighter color just makes them pop just a little bit more. So I'm gonna hit Control Command 0 again to back out. And we can also change the bottom color of the bill. So we could either leave it as that kind of white color, or let's see what happens if we make it that same turquoise color. And that's already got a little bit darker to it because of the shadowing. That's the great thing about these mockup templates, is the lighting on these things, right? So that's pretty much it for the bill. All right, now let's place our main logo on the front of the hat. So let's go ahead and hide our bill layer here, and let's go up. We've got two folders here for embroidered patches. We've got front and side. So let's go into our front, and we've got a bunch of layers here for all the details and lighting on it. And let's go to our smart object here for front patch design. Let's just double click that to open it up. Go ahead and close this one I had open earlier. And here we see the smart object for our logo that goes on the front of the hat. If we remember what we've got there. So whatever we place here is going to sort of automatically curve and warp to the front of the hat. So we want to get this Diamondbacks logo in here. And I'm going to just shrink it down a little bit. And I think I want it to sit a little bit lower than the other one. So I'm going to bring it down. Let's try there. Let's hide that placeholder logo and hit Control or Command S to save it. And then let's go back to our main layer, main tab. And that is looking pretty good. Really nicely placed. And if you zoom in, you can really see it's got that nice depth to it, shadowing on it, texture. Looks very authentic. So it's that easy to go ahead and add a realistic logo to the front. All right, now let's take a look at the side logo here. We're gonna go to our embroidered patch side folder. I'm just gonna open that up, go down to the Add Side Patch Design Smart Object, open that up. And I'm going to drag this MLB logo that I saved in here. And I'm just going to place that right over this other one. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit to get the size just about right. Hide the placeholder. If I hit Control or Command S to save, and I go back to my main tab, I now have the MLB cap on the side. Just want to show you another feature of this template. I've gone down back into the background folder. Now that we've got the cap design finished, you may want to change some of the display options a little bit. And if you go into the background folder and into the background effects, you've got some different shadow options here. You've got some highlights too. You can turn these off and on and you'll see some changes to the way that the display looks, right? Some highlights sort of behind the hat, and I like those. Makes it look more professional, gives it some more depth. We've also got this side shadow, which is kind of what we see here. There's a little shadow to the side of the hat. If we turn that off, that will go away and it will look a lot more flat and just doesn't look as good. You can also do a floating shadow, which makes the hat appear to be floating, which is nice. One way you can present it, and there's actually multiple options within the floating shadow. So you can play with these and turn some of these off. You've got kind of the shadow of the bill and the shadow of the cap itself. But I want to stick with the side shadow, so I'm going to turn the floating shadow off and turn the side shadow back on, and I'm going to leave it that way. I just wanted to show you those options for the shadows that you can have when you're using this template. Okay, so the cap is done and our shadowing is done. Let's go ahead and edit our sticker. We've got a folder here for sticker. So let's go ahead and expand that folder, and we've got a sticker smart object. And this is completely editable. So if you open up this folder, you can change the logo here or hide it. You can change all of the text, so all the text that goes around you can edit by just clicking any of these text layers. You can change snapback, you can change 5950. So this is the classic sort of new era 5950 sticker. You can change the color of the stars, all the different colors of the circles that make up this logo. But the reference cap that we are replicating is not a new era cap. And so if we want to be authentic, we're looking at a DBAX cap that is a 47 cap. And so I've got the 47 logo in the file library that we're going to share with you. So I want to just drop that logo in, and we're just going to do the circle part of it. We're not going to do the entire thing there, but we'll just drop this in, and I'm just going to grab it and just center it the best I can. Pretty good there, and we'll hide everything underneath. Control Command S to save that. The sticker has been added, and if we zoom in, we can see all the detail. It's got kind of a glossy wrinkle texture to it, edges on it, little shadow, so it looks very, very authentic. Okay, so now that our cap design is finished, the last thing I want to show you is the really cool dynamic lighting feature of this sports template cap mockup. So if we turn on the dynamic lighting feature, it's going to enable us to change the way that the light shows on the hat. And you see it just popped on there, and really perfect description, dynamic lighting. I'm just going to close these other tabs real quick. And if we double click on our dynamic lighting smart object, we can go in here and we can play with the hue and saturation. So if we click here and we go to properties, you can just drag this around and you can see it really changes the nature of the light on the cap. And so I'm going to hit that spot. I'm going to hit Control Command S to save it, and we'll just go back and see how that changes. So you can see we've got a little bit more kind of a bright light on the hat. If we turn it off, you'll see the difference when it's not on. So you can really change all of the lighting if you happen to have a different scene that you want to place this in. you can do that. If you want to highlight a different part of the design, you can change the dynamic lighting. So it's a really cool and unique feature of the sports templates, Photoshop mockups, that really can add some authenticity to your designs. Hope you enjoyed this demo tutorial of the sports template cap mockup. Just want to quickly show you everything that comes with this template. So you get the view we have here, which is a 3/4 front view. You also get the cap back 3/4 view in case you want to show a back view of the cap. And then you get the full back view from straight on as well. So you can see all the different angles of the cap, and if you wanted to design on those sides, you can do that as well. And then you get also the front straight on view. So a lot of different views of the cap that you can do full view designs on and show all the different things that you want to design on the cap. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, you can pick up this template at sportstemplates.net. Make sure to follow on Instagram, Twitter, and most recently on TikTok. We cannot wait to see what you design with this mockup. Make sure to tag us. We really want to see your creations. And we will see you next time.